what we're on with today. First, before I start, if anybody's not made one of these steel folders, the heavy duty, for bending heavy duty steel, I suggest you make one, because that is a godsend. That has been an absolute godsend to us. It didn't cost hardly any money to make. We've got a 20-ton press dropping onto that. Your steel goes underneath it and comes down like a guillotine, and then you put your pump down onto that, and that bends it. I mean, look at the thickness of this steel. You can see the thickness of that. It's a good size thick steel. It's really heavy duty. This piece came off some scrap where they were welding RSJs in, and these were like the supporting plates to weld the RSJs together for construction. I won't say where it is, where it's come from. You know, it come from scrap. It was a piece of scrap. So basically, we folded this piece of steel to come up and cover the foot pedals. This is for a Mark 6 transit van, but I know for a fact it'll fit a Mark 7. We've bent it to cover the pedals. Then we're going to get this in line now with the lock to make sure it all lines up with the brake pedal where it clicks to. And then once that's done, we've got some more heavy duty steel there that's going to have that section cut out. We'll make a copy for the other side, and then we'll plate this side, or both sides, to round about this section here, just to cover access for the pedals. We've put in a heavy duty padlock with a pin, and basically what's going to happen now is that will go between your clutch and your brake pedal. It will then be moved over and onto the brake pedal. Once it's in line with the brake pedal, we will, obviously this is not welded yet, then the pin will drop down, clamping it in place with the brake pedal. Key out, locked, job's a good one. And then obviously in reverse to remove it, unlock it, pull the pin out and remove the box. What I'm also thinking of doing with this one is, to drill this section out just here and put in a flashing blue LED. I've got some high intensity blue LEDs that flash, obviously, and with a switch at the side of it. So when it's fitted, hit the switch and then the LED will flash, so anybody looking in will be able to see this plate flashing. It'll have it written on what it is, and that might hopefully put them off from breaking in. Two ways I'm going to do the power source to this. I've got two ways. I could either put a battery at the back of it with a battery section, which we can just hit the switch and keep it as one unit, or what I'm seriously considering doing is having it put onto 12 volt. So you've got your flashing LED with a switch, maybe not necessarily to put the switch in if I do it this way. Feed the wires from the back and up the back of here, a short length of wire, and plug it into a cigarette socket and place a cigarette socket, or just some quick release mechanism so I can plug it in. I think a cigarette socket might be a quicker way of doing it. So that's it. So that has literally at the moment has cost us just the price of the padlock. The steel was left over from salvage, that was left over, so it's cost us the price of the lock. I think it was 20 odd quid for that upgraded, you know, top security padlock job. Steel was free. It's just going to cost us just a little bit to weld it round and paint it up, and the price of the LEDs. Well, there you go. So that should cost me probably, by the time I've done with this and welding it up, the cost of welding, less than 30 quid. And these are selling for 60 quid upwards. So we'll use this as a demo prototype, or whatever you want to call it, and see how we go. Maybe in the future we'll be making some more. We'll have to see. It's something I wanted to do some years ago, is to try and knock a few of these out. So if I do make any more, I'm probably going to get some. I might even pass this design on to somebody else and let them make them, and let them, you know, do it that way around. But I will be trying to make them for the VW camper. Seriously considering making one up for one of those, etc, etc. So there you go. God bless. less than 30 quid, and that should hopefully stop them, another way of stopping them nicking the van.